and welcome back to the Scattering D&D sessions. I got so used to saying the Harbingers that here I am messing it up. But we are so happy to be back and to be continuing this story with you guys for our 3-part scattering event. We're also super excited to welcome back David and Becky from Tomes of the Chaos Bard. They are absolutely amazing and so awesome, and we have been having so much fun playing with them. And also, please check out their podcast. Their podcast is pretty awesome. I guess, David, Becky, do you guys have any announcements from Tomes of the Chaos Bard specifically? Anything upcoming that's coming up?
Well, we just started releasing our Season 2. We're 2 episodes into Season 2, which is way exciting. Things are definitely hitting the fan as we start. The whole Season 1 was kind of slow, but this one, it is starting out fast. So if you want to catch up, it'll be an amazing adventure.
Awesome. Yes, guys, if you didn't hear that, go check them out. Things are speeding up and we're getting there. We're loving it. So, what we're also loving is the scattering event. I love how everyone's just writing about Chiso. We're so excited to have Chiso back.
Hey, we were too.
Yes.
I literally, as he joined, I was like, very good. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, it was a little stressful because he was the last one to join the call. We were like, oh no, we need to have Chiso.
I was having an issue with the mics, and as you can tell, I have issues with my voice, so this will be fun.
Oh gosh. Well, we're super excited. Announcements for Rosemary PG Studios real quick. Actually, I don't really think there's any announcements. Go check our website out. There's a merch page. We're hoping to start getting out some scattering merchandise at the end of all 3 sessions. Maybe we'll have a couple things. If you guys have ideas for what kinds of merchandise you'd want to have, just let us know. Put it in the comments. Message us on one of our socials. And we'll see if we can make it a reality. Anything else is the last and final event for the scattering is going to be happening on May 31st. So that's this upcoming Friday. So be sure to tune in, watch this session, and be sure to tune in next Friday for the final event of the scattering, where we get to see everyone together one last time with Tomes of the Chaos Bard and with my husband Kobe. Also, have to shout out to him.
And if there's any Tomies out there, drop your comments saying hi to us.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, one more thing, viewers, you have the opportunity to influence the story. So please drop those comments. If you think someone did something amazing and deserves inspiration for it, whether they said an awesome one-liner or did an epic attack or something like that, please drop it in the comments and say that they deserve inspiration, because 10 times out of 10, maybe 9.9 times out of 10, they will get inspiration. I had to alter one because I was worried the cat would jump into frame too many times.
Hey, inspiration comes where it comes from, you know?
Exactly. But honestly, you can affect the story. If you want there to be corgi wolves, just tell us there will be corgi wolves. That's also a joke from one of the past sessions where someone wanted one. So, without further ado, I think that's all the announcements. We're excited to have everyone here tonight to continue the adventure. And we are going to have our opening recap, that's the word, but done by none other than Torna himself.
That's me. In our last session, our group of heroes traveled to the glade, the home of the Harbinger of Knowledge, seeking the last token to complete their collection and enact a a spell that would end the conflict between the dragons and the demons. They found their way into the Harbinger's home, only to find her being attacked by demons already. With some effort, the demons were vanquished, returned back to their home plane, and the party was able to both acquire the token of the Harbinger of Knowledge and to gain some insights into what their future might hold. Currently, they are traveling on their way back to the home of the Calamity Creed, the main organization of the dragons, in order to try and request help, even knowing that this spell, this plan, is going to damage, to weaken. It's going to get rid of the dragons as well as the demons, and so hopes are not high, but we have to try.
I love that. Thank you for that amazing recap. Also, I love the comment that Dane just put in the chat, if he can give DM inspiration for all the work.
She already has the blood dice. I don't think she really needs
more help.
it.
I don't know. I'm going to let the players make the ruling on that one. What do you think?
I'm fearful, but I do agree.
High or low?
Put it up on the board. Welcome back.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
That is most definitely low.
Oh
Sorry, Emily, but,
no. Darn it.
She's got the blood dice. Anyone else have any votes? Any cast votes they'd like to cast?
That's okay. I've got DM power. Thank you, though, Dane.
This is a 1 for yes and a 1 for no. I'm down to have one more person. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Wait, for what?
The peace is being held. Oh, to give you inspiration.
Oh.
Only 2 people spoke.
I mean, you do have the blood dice. It gives you like nat 20s every other roll at least. So
Not every other roll.
I don't feel inclined. You have worked hard, but I don't feel inclined to take the blood dice. You know.
That's okay. I don't need inspiration because I have DM powers. If I want to have a horde of dragons come down on you, I can have a horde of dragons.
She'll give herself advantage.
Here we go. Nah, it's okay. You already know that there's gonna be demons on you, so we'll see whether or not there'll be dragons on you. I guess without further ado, we ready to hop into the game?
Ready?
Okay, awesome. Alrighty, so let me switch this over. So as you guys have been traveling, you guys make it out to where Torna and Mona know the location, and they guide you all there to where the Calamity Creed headquarters are, basically. From what you know of this place, it is trying to figure out how to describe this. So imagine a mountain that has a hole carved through the top. So it's like a hollowed out mountain with a giant skylight. Yeah. And there is a entrance for there is an entrance that's in the side of the wall that is generally used for any humanoids that are coming in and out, mostly servants to the Calamity Creed. I realized I didn't have the music. But in this area, there is a doorway that Mona knows about, Torna knows about, that the servants will come in and out of. There is also a grand entrance, in a sense. There is the top skylight area, but Torna, from what you know, that spot is mostly for if there is an emergency message coming through. If you are meeting them and trying to actually have a respectful conversation with the Calamity Creed, you do not come from up above, as that is dishonorable in a sense to the dragons. You would come through the main gates, which are these giant double doors carved into the side. These are like the size that you would assume a great worm could fit in, fit through. It is huge doors at the base of the mountain that follow this ornately carved hallway through the mountain. And as you guys come through this entrance, you notice that there are actually crystals that are buried into the ground and hanging from the ceiling that glow this blue-green color, this teal, I guess. And it seems like it's almost coming from the earth itself, these crystals, as there's actually water pooling from some of these. Is it stalactites are from the ceiling or stalagmites?
Uh-oh. Google.
Tights.
Tights, okay. So tights coming from the ceiling with water dripping down from them, kind of pooling down onto the ground in little bits. And I do love Wings of Fire, Silver Dusk. I do, but I didn't actually get that from this place from there. But I appreciate. You guys may move your characters down as you continue down this hallway.
Question, DM. So this sounds like time skip travel. Does that mean we have a full rest?
Yes. Cool. You do have a full rest. Yeah, and I would say you can come forward about to the center of this circle on the map if you would like to. As you guys continue to walk in, it opens up into the large cavern. It's huge, humongous. You feel minuscule inside of here. Torna, quick question. Are you in dragon form or humanoid form?
Dragon.
Okay, then I'm going to make you bigger.
Yes.
Caecian's just kind of trailing behind Torna, kind of recognizing that he's probably the most important person considered to the dragons
I'm the least
group.
Spokesman right now.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys kind of time skipped here, but yeah, Torna is definitely a part of the Creed. As you guys enter in, who is leading?
It would make sense for Torna to be leading as he's actually one of them.
Yeah, Caecian would push him forward if he didn't lead, so
Okay.
it's you.
Yeah, if nobody else was like pushing for it, then it's Torna.
Okay, so Torna, you're in front. As you guys are coming in, there are several other dragons that are sitting here among you in the Creed. That it seems as if they've all been called for this meeting that during the travel intermission, Torna had been like, hey, yo, can we meet? Effectively. You notice that they are all up on these raised rocky surfaces. So even if they weren't giant dragons that are way bigger than you, they look even taller now as they are on these raised pedestals. Each getting taller the closer they get to the top here. The ground itself is very rocky, but you notice that there are actually elegant lines of gold that have been carved and built into the ground here with a dragon head insignia for the Calamity Creed. For all of you small humanoids, you get the sense that, well, you know you are being watched by all these dragons, but you get the sense that you are very snackable to them, especially the really tiny fairy among you.
Not even worth it. I'm just a toothpick.
Yeah, just a little toothpick.
Snack. I mean, we as humans eat beef jerky, so like, you know, it's
Fair
not that far out.
Probably
Yeah.
just as tough too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is that they're eyeing you. You notice that the red dragon that akin to Torna over here in the corner is definitely like eyeing you probably all the most out of what looks to be hunger. Whereas the rest of them are trying to seem more presentable, more professional in this manner. You do notice that they will not address you until you guys are within the ring here.
Yeah, Torna kind of like gestures for you all to step a little closer.
Yeah, he'll step up.
You got to get in here.
And Chiso definitely steps in and staying a good distance away from the hungry dragon over there.
Yeah, he looks very hungry. I gotta just say, Dane's comment in here, what a nice refreshing glass of water, Genasi. That is so funny.
Awesome.
As I treat myself to a nice refreshing glass.
I'm not sparkling water, I'm pretty flat.
I love that. Alrighty. As you guys come forward, Torna, I'm bringing you just a little more forward.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it so that you all can be seen on the screen.
Yeah.
It's a little hard with... Yeah, there we go. You notice that the gold dragon right at the very front, he actually, his, like, pedestal that he is on is not just, like, rocks like how all the other ones are, like a rocky outcropping. No, his is actually built out of gold and emeralds and silver, all kinds of different precious gemstones, with what looks to be like an iron frame and all this. And it's the highest of them all. You all know this, or at least Mona and Torna know this, to be the leader of the Calamity Creed, the dragon Firuk. Mm-hmm. And as you all approach, yes, actually, let me... Kobe just sent me a message to get all of the names of the dragons in this room, because as Torna, you do know, and Mona would know these, at least the names of all these dragons.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to go around from right to left.
Okay.
The red dragon, down here at the bottom right, his name is Bremut. The green dragon is named Zorfan. I'm calling this copper number 1 is Trogdor. Firuk. The blue dragon is Boramorth. The silver dragon is Aman. And the last dragon is Chad.
Yeah. Okay.
So the closer you are to the gold dragon, Farouk, the higher ranking you have within the Calamity Creed. So you can see that Chad and Bremut don't have the highest ranking, but they definitely like outrank you, Torna.
To be here is already an honor.
Yes. But they're not as close to Farouk as Bramorth and Trogdor are. Sorry, I have to write all their names down. Otherwise, I'm never going to remember dragon names. You step into this circle, and the gold dragon straightens out his neck, looking very giant and tall, imposing over you all.
Farouk is probably at least one size category larger if you wanted to adjust his token.
Actually, yeah, he is.
Just a wee bit bigger.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah. For the record, Torna is probably like average sized, maybe a little on the smaller side, but he's a little on the smaller side more because he's like lean for a dragon, where a lot of the other ones seem like relatively well fed.
Okay. Sorry, give me 1 sec. My camera's glitching out real quick.
No.
I'm sorry, guys. Where's
Hey. We gotta have technical difficulties. It's the standard.
Yeah.
It's
It isn't
what we're going for.
without technical difficulties.
That's right. Every time it happens, I'm always tempted to put a mark here in the natural one for the internet connection or for the hardware or something. But I have withheld myself. Freak, I think I've done it once. I think I did it one time. Because it got so bad.
Well, Chiso is just going to be looking around, kind of just trying to be respectful. He has no idea what kind of... I'm sure he's talking to Torna during the time. What is the most respectful gestures or ways to present oneself in front of dragons?
Yeah, Torna, do you wanna give them the pep talk as a precursor?
Yeah. In preparation for this meeting, this event, most of Torna's advice was like, they aren't going to care about you. They aren't going to look at you that much. You don't have to be. He's like, just relax. The worst thing you can do is draw attention to yourself.
Which basically shot my idea in the foot because I was just gonna so I can do alter self at will, and I was just gonna change myself into like a mini Torna. And I go, dang, that won't work.
You certainly can. This is just what Torna has told you. He's not your boss.
Oh, it's Torna Pseudo.
I definitely sulked a little bit for that.
Right.
And Chiso's doing his best not to look out of place. Definitely trying not to, but he's not very successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This big open space in the middle of the room definitely looks like there's not supposed to be anything here, and so standing in it sucks.
It's part of the tactic to make you feel very small.
Unimportant.
Yes.
I see.
Okay.
I feel like a
Caecian-
little dewdrop.
Yeah?
Yeah. Caecian's he's pretty much just like standing, not exactly next to Torna, but he's at an angle where he can look up and see Farouk, and he's looking towards him, not directly into his eyes, but he is like his attention is that way, since he's clearly the most important one.
Yeah. Alrighty. I like this. Okay. So, as you guys are here in the center, Farouk, raises his head, stretching out. Torna Condrelor, I see you've come again. Is there news from your Loth? From the R&D?
You have called my name of rights, and by the law of dragons, I am obligated to respond. Our efforts have borne fruit. I return with the tokens of the Harbingers, capable of feats of magic beyond our wildest dreams.
So you've really gotten all the tokens?
Every last one.
Caecian's hand like lowers from his hip a little bit towards like the hilt of his sword.
Chiso didn't like that tone either.
Well, what do you plan on doing with these tokens? I know they are quite powerful.
Then you have heard rightly. They are capable of ending this conflict.
Through destruction of the demons?
Perhaps not destruction, but exile, banishment to planes far beyond here.
You notice he kind of relaxes and kind of like snuggles into his little, perch there a little bit better, a little bit more. Mona, you know this as a habit he generally does when he's very pleased with what he hears. You see that Bramorth, the blue dragon, speaks up, and she is a girl dragon. And she goes, and how might this be? How is this going to work out to send them all? I feel as if you aren't saying the full extent of what you mean.
Then you understand rightly. It is no surprise that you sit on this council for your great wisdom. The spell...
And physical prowess. As she kind of claws into the dirt a little bit, into the rocks.
That was without question. The spell that will be enacted by the tokens is not limited to only the demons. It will affect every being of great power in the material plane. The giants, some of the more powerful Fae, and us.
Us.
All of us.
You actually, as you say, all of us, all of the dragons around you begin to start like roaring and shouting, what do you mean that we're also going to go? I just lost a pen. There we go. Sorry. And everyone seems to be just upset and shouting, all growling. You notice the red dragon behind you. I guess it's closest to Tlachtga and Rosanhi. You notice that it looks at you with just this anger, and it kind of licks its teeth with its forked tongue, eyeing you both in particular. And eventually, Firuk slams his tail on the ground with a loud thud. And that's not a good sound effect. I was trying to do a sound effect for his tail. Yeah, that's a
Little
better sound
underwhelming.
effect. the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. As he slams his tail on the ground, and all the dragons begin to quiet down. And he says, Torna, explain yourself.
This is the only way that things should end. There is no other way forward for this world but for us to leave it. The spell will banish, as I said, everything of great power, and will pave the way for a different future. Our time is done.
You say that with quite the conviction. Are you saying you're turning on your own kind?
Not at all. I am just as involved.
He does not seem very happy with this. You notice he kind of like paws his front feet into the ground, his claws gripping into the stone. Mona, you know this is. He's not happy.
I think we all understand that he's not happy.
I'm
I
just
took a
saying.
guess.
Chiso is a little more wet.
Exactly. And he gestures kind of very quickly towards the small humanoids behind you. And he goes, and what are these snacks? Are they here to be as peace offerings?
They are the reason for our success. This would not have been possible without them. I did not earn any one of these tokens, except for one. We would have 2 of the 9 instead of all of them. If not for them.
So you're saying you failed?
Did I?
You showed that mere humanoids are greater than that of a dragon. Do you see that this could cause so much damage to the societies that we've built here? Dragons were made to rule. And you're uprooting the very thought of that.
It is simply time for our kingdom to move on, to move somewhere else. Our birthrights shall not be forsaken, and our laws will continue. But this place is no longer ours. It never belonged to us.
You say it never belonged to us. It belongs to us now.
You're wrong. I've walked the breadth of it, and there is not a single speck of dirt or grain of sand or tree or mountain or river that would swear fealty to you.
He actually stands up from his pedestal. Yes, and if you notice me moving the dragons, it's because they're moving. Tightening the circle a little bit.
Making me squirm.
And Farouk starts stepping off his platform a little bit. Ooh, nope, come here. towards you until he enters and he comes face to face with you, Torna.
Torna's like way back, like maintaining eye contact as best he can.
And he just comes down as he's seething at this point. He goes, "Do you swear fealty to me?"
I do. You are the leader of the Calamity Creed.
And yet you claim that no one else swears fealty. And he looks around to the other dragons and he goes, "Anyone else agree here with Torna Condrelor?" And
You must have misheard me. The people might, the dragons might, but this world is not yours.
it is mine.
This portion of it, though that stands in this circle with me, is mine. And by the law, you will not take them from me or harm them.
These pitiful creatures, you claim them as yours?
I claim all of them, save one, whom I request. The one that was yours, Mona Windward.
And Mona the Sierra, you see his gaze actually turn to you, Mona.
Okay.
And he kind of lowers his snake-like neck, just kind of lowers elegantly to get down a little closer to the ground towards you. And you see him lift one of his hands, and just a single claw curls, beckoning you forward.
Without hesitation, she walks forwards, head kind of bowed respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
She'll go right up next to him, as close as he wants her to come, or as far away, whatever he wants.
Yeah, and you, right where you are is perfect. And he goes, "What do you make of this, servant?"
Okay.
This is the first time in your entire life he has ever asked for your opinion.
Okay. Does she normally call him just by his name, or does she call him like Lord or Sir or anything?
Probably Lord or Master or something like
Okay.
that. Probably Lord.
My lord, I feel honored that you would ask for my opinion.
He continues to stare at you.
I remain loyal to you, my lord. Your choice is law, and I will respect that and follow that. As you have asked for my opinion, my lord, I will give it humbly and with great honor that you would consider my words. I disagree that you do not rule the world. You do. The dragons are the greatest of all. Nevertheless, my lord, your kingdom is in great peril and is sure to be destroyed in this war that is coming. To protect your kingdom, there is value in considering leaving and developing the power to come back. And rule with great honor and Mercy as you have. You've protected so many of us, my lord. And she just keeps, like, bowing.
Yeah, and you seem like he was very, like, happy when you were preening his, giving him compliments. But he seems to stop at one thing. As his gaze turns more menacing, and he says, "Do you think these demons are more powerful than a dragon?" And he kind of raises himself higher.
No, my lord. But in the battle that will come, they will destroy the land and the people you rule over. The dragons will win. The dragons will survive. Nevertheless, your land will not.
Enough.
Yes, my lord. She'll back away. Head bowed.
And he seems to huff a little bit, and you notice some smoke coming out from his nostrils. And he says, "Torna, this cannot happen. Us dragons are more powerful than these demons. And if these lands burn," and he kind of looks at you, Mona, as he says burn, "as a result of these wars, if these humanoids are killed off the face of the earth, well, there's more slaves to come. We'll rebuild. What's another 1,000 years? Or 2,000 for that matter. Humanoids repopulate like rabbits.
Not unless they're all gone.
Does Chiso say that?
He does, but then he realizes, he's like, oh.
And high or low, actually? Chiso.
Oh boy, low.
Low? You're lucky it was low. If it was high, that'd be kind of bad. As he seems to pause for a moment after you said that, and then continues. "I forbid you from casting whatever magic it is that will send them to these other planes." And he kind of brings his claws up and he says, "Even if I have to stop you in less pleasant matters."
Your orders are heard and received. Now, I repeat my requests for your servant.
He looks down at Mona. He says, "I could care less. Take her for all you want."
Yeah.
There's other servants.
That there may be.
And let it be known to the Creed, as he kind of looks around the dragons, we only allow you to keep these wretched humanoids. Ugh. Under the laws of the Creed, that they count among your horde.
course. Now, if you all will excuse my presence, we will be leaving. Unless there are further questions, further needs that you have from me and mine.
You notice that Farouk kind of starts to pace a little around the circle, kind of surveying you. If I catch any wind of you attempting anything of the sort, of trying to cast us out, you are immediately expelled from the Creed and have forfeited your right to live.
Understood. Are there any other... sorry, go ahead.
I'll allow... He starts to walk back towards his area. He says, I'll allow you to leave this once, but don't come back again.
Then we will be off.
He plops down up on his pedestal and kind of flaps his tail at you and does not even watch you as you leave. He turns away, a very big sign of disrespect to you. The other dragons do watch you leave. You notice that the red and copper two dragons, Bremut and Chad, are very close to you guys as you walk past.
Torna will lead the way in between, and then he kind of spreads his wings to push them back to force more space.
And they kind of get shoved back a little bit, but they seem to just be trying to intimidate you all, watching you. The red dragon Chiso kind of nips the air behind you as you walk past. And you guys are able to leave. As you exit out through the grand entrance, you guys, where are you? Oh,
Just before we leave, can I use my alter self just to change my eyes and my tongue and stick my a forked tongue out at the red dragon and wink at him on my way out?
You can do so. And the red dragon, there's two options that I think would be kind of fun with this. High or low, Tlachtga?
Oh, hi.
Darn it, it was low. Okay. But basically you do that and he hisses back with his tongue, kind of stuck out at you and then he kind of bites into the air again oh, he's gonna eat you one day.
I bite the air back.
Oh! Yeah,
as I walk by.
He kind of gets taken aback just slightly, and then you notice him just curiously watching you as you walk past or fly past. Alrighty, anything else as you guys all leave?
Mona, instead of leaving, is actually going to approach Farouk's throne
Ooh, okay.
And she's gonna kneel down and she's gonna pull out one of her diamonds worth 1,000 gold. And she's just gonna place it in front of her and do a very deep bow, kind of essentially touching her forehead to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then as she stands, she'll keep her head bowed again and will just say, "Thank you for the honor of serving you, my lord. I'll go as you wish." And she will then follow everyone else out.
Okay. He does not make any reaction to you. Okay. All right, and you guys are able to walk out of the door, walk out the doors. And you notice that this area that you walk out into is very heavily populated with dragons. And as you guys had entered into the main, like, headquarters of the Creed, there are still several dragons around in this, like, mountainous area that are just covered head to toe in lots of very colorful dragons. Some adults, they range from adults to young to, actually, you don't see any, like, wormlings or hatchlings at all, or like eggs or anything. But Mona, from what you know of like working here with Farouk, you know that there are hatcheries of dragons that are scattered about, and they are highly secretive. You know that there is one somewhere around here, but you're actually not sure of where it is because the dragons keep their hatcheries very, very secret. Okay. Yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Where are you gonna go?
Torna directs everyone to follow him to kind of a secluded area of the mountain, of the fortress. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but of the mountain that has 4 like smaller sized caves, or moderately sized caves, dragon sized caves, and he leads you to one that looks like it hasn't been used in about a year. His old place.
Okay. I don't have a map built for that right now.
That's
but
okay. I think we should be fine.
I will move you all to the main map.
Very good. As soon as we're like out of sight of like the main dragons and we kind of enter into this location, Caecian sets down his bag and pulls out his painter's supplies, and he sets up an easel and he pulls out his paints and stuff, and then he begins painting. And as he does, he basically says, "So we're totally going to disobey everything they said, correct?" As he starts like drawing, he's going to attempt to draw the internal like throne room that they were just inside of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to get with him on this. Okay.
That seems to be the only way forward. If we're going to go through with this, then we won't have the dragons' help. We will be enemies of the dragons.
Yes, well, I would suggest possibly going to the farthest portal that we can away from this place to possibly do this.
Right.
Perhaps. I was
There's
thinking
only-
that it might be easier to just take them out here, but I don't know. He shrugs. He says that probably wouldn't be the wisest to take them on their own playing field.
No, not with so many. I don't, but there is no wise course of action here.
Well,
Whatever we do, we can only be so far away from the nearest mountain, the nearest home of dragons, and the spell is not quick.
I can't imagine that all the dragons have the same feelings of Throom.
it doesn't seem to particularly matter. I mean, they'll serve him either way.
It took me all of this time to even be able to consider disobeying the orders of Farouk. Even saying that out loud just seems wrong, but
Well, then
it's
do
what
it.
must be done. It's the only way.
Becky, are you muted? Oh, sorry. It looked like you were trying to say something on the stream, so that's why. Sorry, continue, Kobe.
No, that was end of sentence. This is the only way it could end.
Caecian, he does a large stroke with his brush as he begins painting into the outline of the cave that he's made. And he says, well, perhaps we could use the fact that this spell will broadcast our location to our advantage. An enemy of an enemy is a friend, correct? And perhaps if we draw the demons to our location as well as the dragons, then they may begin fighting one another. We could take advantage of the chaos, couldn't we?
We could spread a rumor that we have items that could that we're working to dispel the dragons. Just the dragons, like they don't know, possibly. Just throwing a rumor out.
I don't imagine that we'll need any help getting the demons' attention. A spell of this magnitude will have everyone's eyes from all over the continent. There's no way to do this stealthily. But chaos is certainly better than nothing, better than being torn apart, having all of the armies of dragons focused on us at once. Chaos is the best we have.
Caecian kind of pauses his painting for a second, and he says, there is always the threat that they begin to work together in this. He pulls his paintbrush away from his easel. He says, I mean, we are, of course, their enemies as well. Before killing each other, they may stop the ritual. He gets back to painting.
If we're going through with this, then we will all likely die. There's no way, no softer way to say it, that this is running into the gates of hell. Well, the gates of hell and the mouths of dragons.
Is there a difference?
There is, depending on the color of the dragon. Hell is typically fire, but dragons can range from fire to lightning to acid to poison. It's
I
very
heard
different.
hell was an icy place, personally. I've got many illustrations of that. He continues painting.
I have heard similar. From what I understand, there's multiple layers to hell, some distinctions, different types of hells, something of that sort.
So then the mouths of different dragons are a different part of hell.
perhaps there is an analog, a comparison to be made.
Doesn't really matter who's ruling over us. It sure feels like hell either way.
But back in that room, Chiso did make a good point. What if this doesn't stop? What if the demons continue to come? What if we humans, humanoids, mortals, however you want to put it, what if we don't come back? What if we all get killed off in this war that is going on? Then what do the dragons have to rule over?
Their rocks and their gems. Those are also rocks.
Ah, yes, but those
Their
can
rocks
be
and their
set up.
lands.
Right, but there is nothing to exactly rule over. There is nothing to command. And also, and she turns over to Mona, how could you stand working for that guy? He's a complete douche.
So when you turn to look at Mona, she's actually just kind of like sitting against a wall, kind of curled up. Hasn't really been paying attention to the conversation or anything. And when you say that, she just looks up and shrugs, and then kind of looks back down and is like poking a pebble on the ground.
But anyway, the point is whether or not Farouk thinks this is the right move or not, it's still the right move to make. He does not command at least me. Heck, I'll do whatever I want.
And that was the point I was trying to make to him, but a dragon's pride is perhaps the most difficult thing of a dragon. It took mine the better part of a year being assailed at every front before I finally realized. I don't think I can do this by myself. And I cannot, in good conscience, force you to come with me, nor am I capable of forcing you to come with me. I hope that I can ask for your help one last time.
Of course you can. If this is for the betterment of the people, then I'm all for it.
We are your horde, after all.
I apologize about that. It was necessary at the time to prevent you from getting eaten.
Legal jargon, I totally understand.
And dragon law is even worse, from what I understand.
Well, either way, I don't really have any other options. And it would be an honorable death, at the very least.
Perhaps this is that destiny you keep talking of.
Perhaps. I feel that we'll make it through somehow.
We have thus far.
That's right, we did. We have collected all the tokens. That does have some advantage to us. They have some kind of powers, and maybe even, I don't know, maybe by chance the unicorns might come help us balance out the final battle. Who knows?
They told us that they couldn't interfere, but things are dire. Perhaps they might change their minds. Perhaps we might see something else, something different from them.
Well, you have my rapier. I will be with you.
I'm glad to have it.
Well, I think all the dragons have much too big of heads, so let's do this. If nothing else, it will be fun.
Are their heads big proportionally, or just in terms of pure size.
Theoretically.
Oh, a metaphor. Sorry.
Yeah.
Still learning those.
I forget you dragons. Don't understand all those.
We don't have metaphors in Draconic. It's unnecessary. It seems so indirect when you could just say, they are prideful, or they are full of hubris. Like, why beat around the bush when you could just torch the bush? Catch your food anyways.
That sounded like a metaphor to me.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You've been hanging out with us. Yeah.
I've been learning. I've been practicing.
Well done.
I'm proud of nothing else. This whole thing was worth it for that one.
That Torna has learned metaphors.
If nothing else came out of this.
Nope. However, your new charge looks like she may need some looking after and some help. As I kind of look over towards Mona.
Mona, I understand that I may have acted out of turn. What are your thoughts on what has transpired?
Hi, hello.
Hi.
She looks up from the pebble that she's just been playing with. I will help.
It is not an order.
Wouldn't matter if it was. It's the only option I have now.
It's
She
not.
goes back to poking her rock.
She just lost her, job, and she was like, that was her livelihood.
I swear to you that this is not your only option. Should you choose, we can take you and your family and take you anywhere. Before we begin this ritual, you are not obligated to come with us. I requested you from Farouk, from his ownership, from his hoard, because I need your help.
She just lets out a heavy sigh. I will help. Leaving wouldn't do my family any good.
And if we succeed, then we will do your family good. We will change the world in ways that we may never know. That I may never know. I won't be here. Suddenly, it won't be my problem anymore. Either way this goes, it won't be my problem anymore.
Yeah, Torna.
Well, Mona, if you desired, my people would gladly take in your family. If for nothing else but protection. They already are traveling for protection, so what's a few more?
She just smiles at you gratefully but doesn't say anything and goes back to poking her rock.
Poor Mona.
Understandable. It's always an option.
Okay.
Yeah. We should come up with a little more of a plan than simply cause chaos. I
But
know
that's
we
the
all.
best kind of plan.
I have. That does seem to be what you think. I disagree, but I think we should have a little more of a plan. We all acquired some new trinkets from the home of the Harbinger of Knowledge. How best might we put those to use?
Is there some way we can make it look like the spell is being activated in multiple places at once?
That's not a magic that I am capable of, but it might be possible.
Would you all like to share the goodies you got from Rune with the audience?
Sure.
If you want to.
Are you talking about the legendary items?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The legendary goodies.
I almost pulled it out when we were talking to the dragon.
I almost did too.
It didn't go that direction. but-
Knowing what your guys' legendary items are, I would if Chiso alone like pulled his out, I'd be like, oh no.
We're about
I
to have a
thought
problem.
they were gonna start attacking soon, so I was ready.
Oh, they were about to. But it's
I
only
was just like,
because of Mona and the history that Torna had with Farouk that they didn't.
yeah, when you started moving them around, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, they're
We could
circling.
have taken them. We might have been able to take. So if there were like 6 of them, and maybe not the 7th one, we probably would have had a better chance.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe if there were 5, I think that would have been better.
Everybody
Five should've been a
faces
little
off
more
one
managed.
dragon.
Let me at him. Let me
I
at
don't
him.
know how well that would have gone. I almost
Yeah.
died to the demons, so. Okay.
I'll just cast
yeah.
reduce on the dragon that I had, and then just like, put him in a jar. Actually,
Smart. Okay.
Yeah.
it's fine.
So the party would know about this. I'm sure we've talked about in party what the items are, but
Yeah.
I guess I can start with what I received. I received a tall. It's sort of like this ornate flask. It is called, if you want to pull up on your inside of your books, you can find the Ascend Dragon Vessel, which basically is a bottle that is able to conjure different types of liquids, some of which are potions of varying levels of strength. The pinnacle of which allows it to conjure a potion of dragon's majesty, which permits the drinker to transform into a dragon of their choice, an adult dragon, for up to 1 hour. So,
Okay. You get to turn into me.
yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, 2 dragons in our party. Nice.
How flattering.
Yes, yes. I guess I
Oh.
can popcorn it over to Sierra. Let's do that. That's kind of in line.
I have the Horn of Valhalla, which lets me summon dead people to fight by my side.
Woo!
Yay, Nuri.
Is it?
Sky Hard.
Which one is it? Like, there's a silver
the
one. and
iron
isn't
one.
there? Iron one. Okay.
Because that's the legendary one.
Gotcha. That's
So
right.
it's at least 5 dead people or more. No, it's at least 10 dead people or more because you get to roll 5d4. So, yeah, it's cool.
Yep. I almost chose that one too. I love the Horn of Valhalla.
What'd you get, Chiso?
Benton's Omni
I-
Trip. Only for Trip. Sorry, I just read the
I chose to do the Talisman of Pure Good,
Ooh.
which is pretty much it gives me, as a paladin, it gives me a +2 to my bonus spell attack rolls. And I have 4 charges that I can cast as an action. I can expend a charge from it and choose one creature you can see on the ground within 120 feet of me. If the target is of evil alignment, a flaming fissure opens under it, and the target must succeed a DC 20 dexterity saving throw or fall into the fissure and be destroyed. And so that's kind of what I was I was like,
Just
we'll
casually,
try.
just go destroyed.
Yeah, but they have to be evil alignment, so that's kind of iffy when you come to certain dragons and whatnot.
Mhm.
So that was. But I wanted the +2 to the spell save, so that's why I chose that one. I was like, ooh, just an added
Against
bonus.
demons.
That's right.
Gonna drop people down a chasm.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Who's next?
Got a popcorn.
Pick someone, Chiso.
We'll go with Tlachtga.
Okay. So I got a stone. It's called. Oh, I just something out of it. How did you say that?
Ion.
Ion. Thank you. So it's an ion stone of greater absorption. So it's lavender and green. That can fit in my hand. And it says that you can use your reaction to cancel a spell that's 8th level or lower, as long as it's targeting you. And then once the stone cancels up to 50 leveled spells, it burns out and turns to dull gray. So
Holy crud, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
that's a lot of spell immunity.
Dang.
Yep.
Also, I love Silverdusk's comment of Tlachtga got a rock.
Yes. I feel like
yes,
that's so in character, actually. That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Got a rock.
Man, Rune,
That
she
is-
really is the harbinger of knowledge.
She
just
knows you
knew
guys.
Tlachtga.
She knew what you
Yeah.
wanted.
yeah. I want all the pretty rocks,
There
In-
we go.
real life and otherwise.
Okay.
Oh, we lost Rosa. That's who I was gonna pick.
Oh no.
She might pop up
We'll
here
go-
in just a sec.
We'll go with Torna while she's
Oh, wait, she just showed up.
out.
You back? All good?
Welcome.
Rosa, do you want to go?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah,
Your
go for
turn.
Sorry, the timing was kind of bad.
So, yeah, it was very bad. So this one has a lot to it. So if you want to look this up for all the details, look up the Staff of the Magi. This staff can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff that grants a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. While you hold it, you gain a +2 bonus to spell attack rolls. The staff has 50 charges for the following properties. It regains 46 +2 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On d20, the staff regains 1d12 +1 charges. So it has two abilities, it looks like. 3 maybe? Okay, so the first one is spell absorption, which is basically it can absorb a spell and it'll regain as many charges back as the level spell that it was. It can cast spells, which there is a whole list of spells that it can cast and how many charges each one takes. So I'll just let you guys look that up. You can also use an action to cast one of the following spells from the staff without using any charges: Arcane Lock, Detect Magic, Enlarge and Reduce, Light, Mage Hand, or Protect from Evil and Good. Then there's a Retributive Strike. You can use an action to break the staff over your knee or against a solid surface. Performing a Retributive Strike, the staff is destroyed and releases its remaining magic in an explosion that expands to a 30-foot radius sphere centered on it. It also has the thing within spell absorption that if the absorption brings the total number of charges above 50, it basically explodes. And that's the basics of the staff.
Epic.
Nice.
Who has not gone yet?
I think it's just Torna.
It's just me.
Right,
Okay.
Torna.
I have claimed, as Torna, he shifts into like his human-sized form, and he withdraws this like scepter, is what it looks like. But as he like slams it down onto the ground, a blade of flame emerges, revealing it to be an axe. Statistically, a great axe, known as the Crimson Tyrant. Big thanks to Larsen's Ledger from Loot Tavern, because they have some cool magic items. It is essentially augmenting his already impressive red dragon presence. Its effects are as follows. The magic axe deals an extra 1d10 fire damage to any target it hits. While holding the axe, you have advantage on intimidation checks against humanoids that perceive themselves as having a lower social standing than you. The axe has 12 charges and regains 1d8 plus 4 expended charges daily. And so, as a bonus action, Torna can try and use the axe to cause a creature within 30 feet to try and force them to kneel and become prone. Or, when a creature within 30 feet succeeds on a saving throw against one of my spells, then I can use a reaction to force it to make a constitution save or take additional fire damage. As I... what was this? That one's called Punish the Defiant, as I punish this person for daring to defy the magical edicts of the Red Dragon of Torna.
Nice. Okay.
That is a very dragon weapon right there.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh. Well, now that the audience knows all of the fun little magic items you guys have, what is your plan of attack, or I guess plan of what you're going to do? How are you going to save the world? Stop this war between the dragons and the demons?
So, Caecian, he now has moved on to the shading on his painting. He's finishing up.
He's fast.
Yeah, he's fast. I mean, he's got a +5 to dexterity, so I mean, what do you expect?
That he moves fast.
Yeah. But he basically says, if we are going with the chaos sort of thing, it may be wise to see if we can deceive some members of both sides into fighting. I think if we are able to remind them of the powerful artifacts we have, the victor of this fight receiving said powerful artifacts would be a strong motivator for either side. And so perhaps they may begin to attack one another. If we play our cards right, anyways.
Right. Unfortunately, I am not well versed in illusion magic for any significant acts of deception, but I do have Globe of Invulnerability, the spell that I cast before at the Harbinger of Knowledge. That could be used to protect whoever's holding or enacting the ritual. The ritual should take... DM, how long is this ritual going to take?
It's going to take 30 minutes.
30 minutes. And how long before enemies start showing up?
It's going to take about... maybe 15, 20 minutes for people to start showing up.
And so this is in a group spell casting thing. This is one individual does the spell.
You might need to like help hold some things in certain spots for the spell, but then once it's begun to cast, it's okay to continue by itself. The only thing that could stop it would be like if someone went and interfered with it directly.
Which we will try to prevent.
Perhaps we can... Can we do this ritual at any location?
I believe it needs to be at one of the planar rifts.
Oh, this is...
There are 5 in total.
Is it possible that we could, going along with that deception idea, that we could feed information to the dragons and the demons? That is like, oh, this ritual's gonna happen at this location while we're at somewhere else. So going along with your idea,
Time.
so as they confront each other at that one location, it could possibly buy us some time in our location.
Yeah, is that worth a shot? DM, could we make something like that happen?
Of like trying to seed rumors or
Yeah, so the idea is they're like, oh, at Portal 1, they're going to cast this spell, and they're doing it soon. So tell that to the demons, tell that to the dragons, and they kind of trying to deceive them that that's the location we're doing it, but yet we're at Portal 3 casting a spell.
okay.
So going along with Cassian's idea of let's try and get them together. If they go together, they can fight, possibly cause rift between themselves while we do our stuff.
Yeah. If that's what you guys want to do for your plan, that sounds pretty good. I am down to do whatever you guys want to do for a plan. I have adjusted accordingly to all surprises, or at least any surprises that I could think of.
All factors. Very good. So
Mona will pipe in at this point that, well, if we find where we want to do this with some lead time, like at least an hour, I could create a temple that we can do the spell in, so when demons at least enter, they will have a disadvantage. And within that temple, I can create a tiny hut that we could all fit in, and it blocks all spells and attacks and effects from outside. For 8 hours. It will definitely cover the spell. And my temple will last for 24 hours.
That would be very helpful, yes.
That's pretty dope. I did not know you had that.
Yeah.
perhaps would be easier. I mean, at the very least, we should prepare some sort of protection and defense. Are we sure that we would even be able to cast the spell from inside of this area?
How
Sorry.
large of a radius is Tiny Hut?
Tiny Hut is a 10-foot radius. I can fit 9 medium creatures in it. And objects.
Does it upcast? Can you make it
No.
bigger? No.
Yeah, I think looking at the size of it, it could fit you all in it, but the ritual itself would be too big.
How big is the ritual? This is good info. How
Yeah.
big is that?
So what it's going to be is all of the, you're going to have to place these. Let me zoom out of this spot. So we're gonna draw on this map here.
Nice.
Just gonna do a rough Sorry, my circle skills are not the greatest. It's like roughly around that-ish big of like an area before the portal. And what it is you're going to have to place these tokens around in this area in the circle to fill it. And
Will it be on this map?
No, it's going to be on a different map. This is just the rocky map that I found for you guys to sit in.
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be like in here. Let me get a different color. And all of these are going to be like on the outside, all these little tokens and blah, blah, blah. And then say the portal is like right here. All of them are going to slowly, over the course of the 30 minutes, make their way towards the portal. And once they're right in front of it, that's the trigger of the end of it.
So...
Torna, you also know that this is going to be, like, very flashy throughout the whole casting.
Gotcha. Yeah. Since the tiny hut might not be tenable with the necessary steps for the ritual, perhaps we could take another avenue of defense. I could cast Fog Cloud at a really high level, because Fog Cloud scales really big when you upcast it.
Does anyone happen to have the spell Glyph of Warding?
Not in this timeline.
Not in a different timeline, yes. Very sad.
Different world.
Caecian, he kind of just looks up and he just kind of like shakes his head. He says, "Never mind that."
Not I.
I have Sleet Storm.
Rosanhi, is your last name Leodon?
No. The Leodons are part of the Summer Court. I am a Spring Fae.
I see. Well, technically a Sealy Court Fae.
Yes.
I don't have Glyph of Warding prepared now, but after a rest, I could prepare it.
Well, if we are going to seethe rumors, I don't know if we will have time to accomplish such a task.
I think we should have enough time to prepare the needful spells.
You'll have time.
Caecian nods then. In that case, with that, we may be able to create a sort of artillery line, something to stop big creatures from moving forward, which is everything we're going to be fighting against. But it certainly could assist. It would take quite a few spell slots if we wanted to have an effective line of defense, however. But some things more than nothing, I suppose.
I know for my part, like I'm just good in a fight. So if you guys want to focus on doing all the prep spells, I can definitely help boost any kind of buff you might say. Or even I have some spells that will kind of hinder a little bit of the enemy's actions.
Okay.
Torna, will we be able to have access to the tokens as the ritual is being done? Or will they not be accessible?
I think that's they'll be floating in the air, it sounds like.
They will not be... Yeah, so, like, you could go and smack them down or whatever, but you can't use their abilities.
So no using one of the tokens as the ritual is being cast?
Yeah.
No grabbing it and using its effect?
Yeah, unfortunately, it would disrupt the ritual.
Okay.
I think from a out of game perspective, we probably don't want to run this that somebody is stuck in the bubble and is there like, I continue concentrating on the spell. I continue concentrating on the spell. Because that'd be
Yes.
really boring.
I don't know. That sounds epic. Breaks game.
No, you just have to basically start the spell, and then the spell will do itself unless someone interferes with it.
Okay, then we just defend it.
We just have to keep people off the spell.
Yeah, basically.
That makes things very clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just initiate it, and it'll do all the hard work. Nah, you'll be defending it, doing the hard work. So,
Okay.
what I can do at this point, is there anything you guys would like to do before you reach the location and start setting up the stuff you want to set up?
On the morning that we are going to do this, Mona will make a hero's feast for everybody
Okay.
for breakfast.
Oh, very nice.
Yes,
A final meal.
that is going to be extremely necessary against dragons.
Yes.
Because otherwise we're going to be rolling against, or you guys are going to be rolling against frightful presence like 12 times a round.
Oh, does Heroes Feast,
Makes you
they're
immune to fright.
immune to being frightened. Holy crud. For 24 hours. Yeah, no, that's probably pretty smart.
Kind of important. Very good.
Mona's a support character.
There we go.
Chiso also had the idea to like seed rumors of like the location that this is actually going to be done at. Doing rumors at the dragons would probably be easier than doing it with the demons. However, we need both of them. to have that
So,
sort of rumor.
what I was thinking is that we could do some stuff for that real quick. Before we actually get to like the day of, and so that's why I was asking, is there anything you want to do like before the
Yeah.
day?
So
Yeah.
the rumors are definitely a big one.
Okay, so
Cool.
rumors, anything else?
Hopefully that can buy us some more time.
If someone had the sending spell, then Caecian would probably explain to his family what was going to happen, just in case he does die.
Okay, does someone have sending?
It depends.
It's
If
not
someone-
prepared right now, but after a rest, I can have it.
And I would say like you guys can take a couple days. Like you guys are totally fine. So
Yeah.
I just want to do the stuff that happens before the day of. So
Okay.
Caecian, if you would like to role play talking to your wife, Miathil.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I gotta actually think. This word restriction limits. Oh, it's a thing. It certainly is the thing. Okay. Let's see. I just run with it. I'll just run with it. Okay. No, Kobe. I see those fingers, Kobe.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
I've cast. I was gonna count words.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, if this is like a day, Mona can conceivably cast sending how many times?
A lot.
Let me go look.
I need to count
What level it is.
Because I think it's third for sending, and so you'd have all your third slots,
Like
fourth and fifth,
400. You could like
So-
400.
9, 13.
Nine
If you spend every slot on it.
Spend every slot for me to communicate with my wife. Probably won't take every slot. We're both
There's 10.
old people.
I could do it 10 times.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
250 words. That's an essay. Awesome.
All right. So
Okay.
go off,
Um,
Caecian.
I will. So Caecian says, actually, he would be telling you what to say. So technically, it would be Mona speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you gotta
Caecian-
clarify that to Miathil.
yes, exactly. So Caecian would say, he would tell Mona to say these words. Hello, Neothil. Caecian is safe. I am speaking for him at this time. We have acquired each token for our quest. We will rid the world of demons and dragons soon. There may be a big battle. We may not survive. If Caecian passes, he leaves charge to you, as he has before. Keep our people safe.
That was 3 sendings, in case anyone was wondering.
Nice.
In response, Mona, you can communicate back what she says. As she responds with a big sigh at first. It's good to hear that you're doing all right for yourself, my love. I do hope that you will come out of this alive. I know you're quite the formidable warrior. So please, live for us, for your people. Haven't had the chance to tell you this. I just recently found it out myself, but you have to live for your unborn child.
Oh, snap.
We'll continue to guard our people and the hot stone itself as well as the... well, you know what that we've been carrying with us. It hasn't hatched yet, but we'll see when.
It cuts off.
Good. Caecian will respond. I don't plan on dying. Destiny is on my side. I will be back.
Good. I expect to see you soon. Well, not soon, but soon enough.
I love you all. Take care. See you on the other side of this mess.
See you in the west, my love. And with that, you conclude your conversation. And since this was all spoken out loud and Mona was communicating what she was saying, you guys all heard the conversation.
It was on speakerphone.
Yeah, it was on speakerphone. So.
Oops, it's fine. Yeah, throughout this whole thing, Caecian seems to be like very cold throughout, but he has just sort of this very stoic, like determined expression. Almost as though he understands the risks of what he is doing here, especially when it comes to a third child. You all know he has at least 2 already. He is like that part especially like stood out to him. It almost bolstered his determination.
That he's gonna live.
Yeah, he's not planning on dying. If he wasn't before, he's definitely not now.
Gotta give incentive.
Yep.
All right, now we need to make sure that this works so that he can meet his unborn kid.
And name it, perhaps.
Name it, perhaps.
We'll see.
I like
Don't
it.
name it perhaps. That's the most ridiculous name.
No, I was
Can I
not-
say that by like pointing out different things in his picture that are the wrong color that we
Absolutely.
did?
Yeah, can I canonically roll to see how good it was? I'm gonna do that. Hold on. I think that's a dexterity painter's supplies check, because it is a query thing, so it depends on like what exactly I'm using it for.
Okay.
Let's just go with that. Let me roll for it. So it would be proficient. So yeah, dexterity, real quick. Canonically, it. Oh, I rolled with advantage. My bad. I can just
It's
roll
okay.
again.
Just take the first number.
Yeah.
That's a bad number.
And never mind.
Yes. Well, it has been
That's
the
a
concept
nat
of
one.
Isn't that
Taking the
hilarious?
first one.
Isn't that hilarious? Probably the worst painting. He was not focused on.
He was
think-
stressed.
A suggestion is that like he was painting to try and like calm his nerves, and for
Yes.
that purpose, it worked great.
Oh, it worked real good. It's actually an abstract painting of the thing. Why it didn't take him very long was because he was pretty much just putting colors on the
Like,
easel.
It became an abstract painting.
It did. He's like, this is not looking well. He shrugs. Starts slapping paint.
Did any of you guys have any other questions to ask Caecian about the conversation he had at all?
What was that I heard about hatching?
Casey is
What's hatching?
like looks.
Isn't that how
towards
they
you.
have children? Did they hatch?
Oh no, not even a little bit. It is a. He kind of gives like this almost smile, almost happy with like something in his mind. He says, "It's a safety mechanism, a defense." He nods curtly.
Okay, now I'm more intrigued. Defense from what? More.
Well,
What more than around here? Than the demons and the dragons?
well,
Could you need protection from?
perhaps.
And you have a dragon.
from them.
Have you not heard of leprechauns?
Oh no, I have. I've met one. My cousin got stuck in one of their rings. That's not actually fairies that do that, by the way. That it really is not.
Yeah, Caecian, he that's what he gives you, but he seems very happy about it. Like, especially as he's looking toward Torna. If anyone would like to roll insight, I would be more than happy to provide a little more context. I would be
Characters don't
more
roll
than
interact.
happy to roll insight checks.
The players. One of my things that when I DM is that players don't roll to interact, but this is not my table. This is Emily's table. She's in charge.
I will command.
If you want to.
I got a 14.
14. Pretty good. He's not great at deception in the first place.
Does
What
that mean we can
insights?
roll with advantage?
There we
Sure.
go. There we go.
I'm down. Sure.
Woohoo! That is still 14.
Nice.
Torna respects the like privacy of a secret, not necessarily out of any like consideration or like etiquette. It's that a secret is yours, like it's your secret, therefore it's your property. And dragons like respect properties. It's like, yeah,
Yes, that
like
makes
I couldn't
sense.
steal this secret from you. Like, it's yours.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So what insights do they gather though from?
I heard 14. What did you roll?
I got a 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, you both kind of gather that he finds a sense of irony in the conversation, almost like there's this underlying joke with the order of things that happened. But he doesn't say what it is.
So Chiso rolled as well, right? But he rolled a 2 twice. And he's still trying to figure out how long he's been... he's trying to contemplate in his head. He's like, so we've been traveling together for this long. How long do they stay pregnant?
It's like doing the math in his head.
That's so accurate.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. I
No,
forgot
it's probably
about
a little
that.
long.
Yeah.
We're gonna
We
say
had a layover once upon a time. It's
yeah,
fine.
it was a layover.
Like,
Just
like
for a
elves,
day.
They
We're
live
gonna-
a long time. It's probably
Maybe she met up with you guys for one night.
Yeah. That's what that was. Very good.
Yeah.
Y'all met her. Y'all met her.
Yeah, you
I
know,
love
Mia
Yeah.
Phil.
Oh, so kind.
Makes
So
sense.
kind.
Mona wouldn't have even been able to contact her otherwise. So
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, totally. This is canon now. Because Emily forgot timelines.
Sorry,
For some reason, I was thinking like, oh yeah, it was like 3 months ago.
That does line up.
no, that's how long we've all been together.
That's when
could
you
be
met
like-
her.
How long do elves do that, right? How long is their
Their
pregnancy
gestation.
going? Yeah.
Their gestational
They can
period.
live over 1,000 years. Why not be pregnant for
I
3
mean,
years?
it makes.
That sounds horrible.
It makes weird sense.
Sound terrible being pregnant for 3 years.
It does sound really awful.
Chat, let us know what you think.
That
Get in the
best
comments.
the best chat interaction.
What do you how long are elves pregnant for?
As somebody who's been pregnant multiple times, no, I don't.
3
no.
years.
You're like, if we
No.
can shorten the time, that'd be better.
As a
Okay.
husband who's had a wife that has multiple children, that would be miserable.
Melody Wolf. No, we do things within the marriage.
Yes, yes,
That's right.
she met up with them. She met up with them totally.
yes. Good.
Okay.
I've
Well-
learned that if I put too much of my hair in the camera, it changes how the brightness fluctuates. See, it goes back.
Nice.
Well, I do the same thing. So I keep pushing mine out of the way.
Like, I keep.
Oh, that's
Oh,
weird.
it's gonna do
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Maybe. Yeah, it's gonna do it.
Oh.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets really bright.
Nice.
It's just making sure that you have your emo phase again. It's a secondary emo phase. It's fine.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
Chiso has let down his locks also.
Ooh,
Here we go.
he just got serious. That's really why he rolled a 2. He's playing with his hair.
He's like, gotta get it all styled.
Good.
Okay, so over the course of the few days that you have before, let's get back into the game. Over the few days you have before, you have that conversation with Miathel, who totally you guys have all met before. She's a really nice elf.
She was nice for an elf. Yeah, even I thought so.
Yeah. There we
Yeah.
go.
That's right.
And as you guys have kind of been like traveling around trying to figure out like how to best communicate this, Mona, you have thought of being able to contact some other servants, you know, that's possibly a way to spread some rumors around to the dragons. Torna, you also know of a brood of hatchlings that you could meet up with. Not like meet up like, hey, come meet at this ice cream truck. No, like you could go to the place that like like all I'm not explaining this well. Like the teacher dragons.
Go to the people who would spread rumors.
Yeah. I'm really not explaining this well.
Okay.
But there's a place.
Candy?
You want some candy?
Now remember, with every piece of candy, you have to spread one rumor, okay? Here you go.
Tell
Now
one
go
person.
tell people where
Somebody.
we're going to be.
It's
I'll
actually
tell
funny you
another
brought that
dragon.
up. I literally just put in the chat, coming to the sus white van, I got candy.
Nice.
No windows.
Come on.
Mhm.
So you know of a hatchery that you could go to, because there are very few dragons that know of like several locations. You know of one location of a hatchery, and you know that they are like they love gossip there. Like the adult dragons that care for the hatchlings, and then shove them out in the real world. Basically, effectively. Lady Noir saying, come meet at the ice cream truck so we can plan to overthrow the government.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it works, right? Always starts at the ice cream truck.
Always starts with-
Every time.
That's what any respectful, caring, loving adult would do.
Yeah, just bring some ice cream to the hatchlings.
Here's your vanilla, here's your chocolate, here's some propaganda.
Oh my gosh, that reminds
The
me.
ice cream
I
cones
saw
are just wrapped in propaganda.
exactly.
Fine.
Turn it on.
I remember seeing this video of this ice cream truck of this guy who would like make these ice cream like popsicles kind of a thing, but he would make them look like celebrities. So form all of your ice cream to be propaganda.
There you go. Just
Epic.
There you
Built
go.
Stacy, what are you eating?
You know.
And let's see. Tlachtga and Rosa, you guys would know you guys know that there are toadstool fae who basically manage the toadstool rings that allow you to travel between this mortal plane and the Fey wilds. And you know that a lot of different creatures will travel through these toadstool rings, and you figure that that's also a pretty good spot to go and get the attention of several other creatures if they're wanting to spread more rumors.
And we get a couple of good recipes too from them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Chiso and Caecian. During your guys' travels, when you guys were alone, you found a couple different outposts that have been set up for the demons. You guys didn't dare to go attack them directly just because there were so many there, but you also know that the demons will have imps hidden at different postings and different outcroppings that you think you guys could manage to get a hold of, and be able to slip some information, or at least be in the presence of them, and they'll be able to slip that information to the demons.
They do have invisibility, so technically they could be anywhere around them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
we're
I
just
was
talking
gonna-
about our plans very openly, just like really openly. We're like, man, can't
no one
wait.
could possibly be listening right now.
No, it could possibly be this.
Mm-hmm.
At portal number 1, you sure we don't want to do a different one? Specifically that one? Yes, that one. Okay.
You could say the ocean portal would be a good one to
Misdirect.
direct them to, because it also
Yeah.
will have the least destruction to the land.
Yeah, all of the party, we've like agreed upon which one it is, and I mean, ocean portal makes no sense.
Yeah, because there's one in the ocean, there's one in the mountains, and the others are kind of scattered around, less distinctive.
Yeah, there's one that's like really high up in the sky, and you don't think that one will be good.
You kind
For
of have to
you
fly to
guys-
get there.
Yeah, for you guys in particular, it'd be a really bad disadvantage spot for you. So you could also say that one to them. Spreading rumors about
Which-
that one.
So I guess, unless Chiso is adverse to it, because Chiso/Way might be adverse to having us send demons and dragons to go fight in the ocean.
Let me talk to Wei real fast.
Yeah.
So, wait.
Yes, bearer?
There is conversation of this, I'm sure you've been overhearing this, plan that we've had, right?
Ah, yes, I've been dipping in and out. I've heard quite a few of your decisions. Heard a very interesting conversation between Caecian and, well, Mona via his wife.
Yeah, that's really confusing how that all worked out. But we're getting a little sidetracked a little bit. But I was thinking they were talking about possibly doing the pretend portal ritual thing at the ocean one. Is there possibly a friend or ally that could possibly meet them there to help distract the dragons and demons there? To kind of make them stay and linger a little longer, if you know what I'm saying?
Ah, I can think of a few. I would have to request for them through the planar portal, to come through the planar portal itself.
So we would have to travel there first.
No,
to get that set up.
I can communicate with them. No worries about that.
That would be most helpful. I mean, if we were going to try and save this plane of existence, that would be most helpful. Especially not having the demons and the dragons on our hind ends, if you know.
Of course, of course. Now, what is the most powerful water creature I can think of?
I'm still stuck on the fact that David wants to create a linger. I'm sorry, Chiso wants to do a linger longer.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we get camaraderie. We get together.
How else are we going to unify the demons and the dragons? They gotta get to know each other first.
Apparently,
Talk now.
ancient gold dragons like water.
Oh, so
We're just gonna have
home
great-
turf, great.
Tromokratis is the lord of the sea on Theros.
Got a few Kraken friends?
Yeah, we'll get some Kraken friends in there, some dragon turtles,
A Leviathan?
leviathans. How many demons and dragons could Wei and Chiso take out by going Avatar state giant monstrous koi on them? Yeah.
That'd be so epic.
We shall see.
We gotta do that sometime. That'd be epic.
Wei says, "Worry not, I have it settled. Bearer, quite a good idea. And don't let your companions fret about what will happen to the state of the water. The red always ends up drifting away."
Yeah, I know it's ebb and flow for us, isn't it?
It is.
Well, thank you, my lady.
Thank you, bearer.
Are they flirting?
No, she's not. She just likes him, like as a friend, platonically.
Like, this is a good bearer. I like this.
She's like, I like this bearer. He's good.
He's fun.
Sorry, that was the
E-
inside thought.
Even if she was, it'd be going right over his head. He's just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think she really is like. Maybe, I guess he is a water genasi, so maybe she thinks he's cute, but like.
It's the bulbous knob. The ladies love it.
I feel like the way that Wei determines kind of like attractiveness has to be something really like
Random.
obtuse, really like random. And it's like, yes, he is quite wet. Like, he is very moist.
Well, when he was in with the dragons, he was
That's-
definitely sweating a lot.
Yeah. She thought you were more attractive when you were swimming. And when you're swimming all like covered in water, she's like, dang.
This is even worse.
I'm glad we're
Moving
sending them
on.
to the water.
Yeah, she can be attracted to those guys. We'll put them in the water.
Look at their problem.
How much water content do you have on you? That is her attraction level.
Tossing the pH of the water, we're golden.
We gotta have a good pH.
She's like, wow.
The
this is
salt
fine.
content ratio too, like that's pretty important.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
what
Those
mundane
electrolytes.
defenses should we try and prepare if we have some time?
Why are you getting back to planning?
Because I'm moving on.
We are planning, aren't we?
This is an important discussion, guys.
This is important for Dane Selch to hear. Dane Selch to listen to.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Dane Selch plays the resident water genasi and current bearer of the Heart of the Sea in the Harbinger's campaign.
In the future.
Take notes. Take notes.
Take note.
Write this down.
In the future, she's just always comparing him to Chiso. It's okay.
Yeah.
Subconsciously.
I'm not gonna lie, I was planning on name dropping Chiso one after the scattering to Dane's character being like, ah yes, Chiso.
Back in the day, when the world was wetter.
When the world was better.
By the
Way is Team Aqua.
Team Aqua.
We all heard that.
Oh no!
Yeah, the mute's on the mic.
Oh my
Disappeared.
gosh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
It's hilarious to see you like back up, take off your headphones, and just scream.
Anyways, in the scattering.
And if you want to see more content like this, we do this all the time on our podcast.
Exactly. Go
You
check
guys
out
that can't
Tomes
see
of the
us,
Chaos Bar.
Usually we're so serious in our campaigns. It's always good when we just break down for a minute. That's always good. Very nice.
It's
always
fun to have
nice.
those funny moments.
Indeed. So
Okay.
Chiso will approach the group and kind of explain just like what him and Wei does agree that the ocean will be a perfect place for them. We might have a little friendly help over there to keep them distracted.
Okay. Wonderful. That'll be
If
the
all goes
place.
well. Or, please.
Yeah.
If all goes well, then there's some chance we might have the spell finished by the time anything arrives. Knock on wood.
Okay.
See? He does learn.
Just a short.
Single tear.
You get 2 claps.
Love this. Okay. So, moving forward. During this time, as you begin to prep, Torna, you feel the eye of the dragons on you. As things don't seem to be all quite right. They don't seem to trust you as much anymore.
They already didn't trust me very much. This is not a big change.
Yeah, true. Caecian and Chiso, you guys are able to, at least for what you think, successfully start spreading rumors amongst the demons, or at least among their imp watches. Spreading about how you guys are going to be casting out the dragons and at this water portal. And you spread these rumors about as you travel amongst them. Rosanhi, I'll just say Rosa and Tlachtga, as you guys head over to these toadstool rings, you inform all the people that you're around, talking about how there's going to be this ritual, spreading news of it happening at the water plane, or at the water portal. And you spread it around to the Toadstool Fae, out towards the creatures and beings that travel through the Toadstool Rings. They do seem, a few of the Fae do seem a little confused as to why a Seelie and Unseelie are traveling together. But most will keep silent about it, as the Toadstool Rings are a place for travelers. Torna and Mona, you guys are able to successfully meet with a couple of servants and spread some of the servants of other dragons, and are able to spread some of those rumors about towards them, about the event happening at the water planar portal, which only again puts more suspicion on your group, effectively. Torna, you are able to visit this hatchery and speak with some of the leaders there, and some of the hatchlings do over here, and they're curious. And you know that from here it's going to spread amongst the dragons like wildfire. And you all meet back up on the morning of when you're going to cast this ritual. And I will put you on the map of where it is. Can it load? Alrighty, do you guys all see the map?
Yes, I do see.
Towards the left is where you're going to find the portal. So you guys are able to, since you guys haven't quite started yet, you guys are able to survey and scout out this area as much as you would like, and start to talk about where you're going to set up certain things. The portal looks like it is technically on, because it is a portal where creatures would come out of, a planar portal, but it doesn't seem to be, at least this one, in much use right now.
Is this a high ground and this a low ground?
Hold on, let me zoom out so I can see real quick.
Like over in this area? And then...
So the kind of rocky area where you guys are in, and over here are all the same level. The black rocks that you guys see are a higher ground. You have to climb up to them. Over here you see a bridge, like a broken bridge that kind of falls into the ground, and it is angled up onto a higher plateau up here. This, let me grab you guys and move you over here just real quick so I can describe. This area is actually a very large stony pool. The water in here goes just a little bit above the bottom of your boots, but not quite hitting the top of your toes, basically. It's just barely covered in a little bit of water here. Most likely from past rainfall in the area. And you know that it's going to be on the outskirts of this ring where you're going to be setting all of the things, the tokens.
The tokens.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just thinking about high ground cover advantage. Caecian will point this out, by the way. There's opportunities for cover over here that dragons theoretically would take. Probably too prideful to do it. The demons might, though. Although we may be able to use some sort of cover to our advantage as well. I mean, it'd be great if we could just collapse this bridge. That would make some more obstacles to get around.
It is halfway collapsed. Like it's in the ground on the bottom right here, like that. It's in the ground there, and it just ramps up to the top here.
Okay. Might be good to collapse that, but then we wouldn't have a way to really get up there, so we might need to keep it.
Well, if we do want to collapse it any further, I can cast Fireball with my staff.
I could also push it.
Just push it over. Let's see. If anything does appear up here, have a way to attack it. Most of us are melee fighters outside of the spellcasters we have. And they're not hindered too much by covers with AoE attacks. He's just kind of sitting here, like, chin in his hand, and he's just speaking aloud as he's thinking.
The most important thing when fighting dragons is their breath weapon. Because if we allow them to just fly around as they will, they'll fire their breath weapons at us and fly away. We need to make them come to the ground, to land and engage us.
First things first, we shouldn't stand too close to each other. Avoid the area of effect damage from their breath weapons. Does anyone have any paralysis spells or something that might be able to bring the dragons down?
I have, what's it called? Hypnotic pattern.
Pattern?
I explicitly grabbed Earthbind for this reason.
Very good. Earthbind would be useful.
I have Compelled Duel.
Compelled Duel would be very good. That at least takes care of 3 dragons. Okay, let me... Gotta double check Hypnotic Pattern. I kind of assume that...
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it into the chat. That way I can just see it. I kind of assume that Caecian knows all of this. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to magic. He's studied it a long time. Wisdom save, charm for the duration. That definitely will help. It's a concentration spell. Yeah. And then Caecian can transform into a dragon as well and just take to the air and fight dragons up there if things get really bad. He also might be able to use his... Just double check how strong my psionic abilities are. Because I might be able to.
Well, I can also turn into an air elemental.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, gaining flight will be very helpful just to make sure the dragons can't stay up in the skies and do whatever they want. Question for Mona, does your spell, the Temple of the Gods, or I guess this might be more of a DM interpretation question, is does it give us a ceiling?
I was trying to read the spell. So effectively it gives it like...
It says there's a roof in the spell.
Yeah, I was gonna say it gives it like walls and everything.
You get walls, roof, floor, and a door.
And they are opaque. You can't see through them, correct? It's just like a normal building.
It's essentially a building of magical force, which also extends into the ethereal plane. So someone can't go to the ethereal plane and then appear in the temple.
Okay.
It's even a wall there, so they have to like go through the door.
Yeah, in that case, the main defense we would have to do is watching the door and then making sure none of the dragons try to break through the roof.
Yeah.
So if we are to set up the what are they called? The runes. I totally remembered them like 10 minutes ago.
The tokens?
No, the
Magic
Talking about the
glyph of
sales.
yeah, the glyph of warding. If we are to set one up, it may be good to have them in places where, like, choke points, if that makes sense. Like the obvious. So, for example, this path here, my pointer is not great for that since it's that color. Hold on. Like over in this area and then up here at the top of there are both choke points. In order to get from here down, they need to jump down, which would not be very wise, but they could. Totally could. So probably, honestly, like, yeah, one of those places, or even all of them, would be a good place for glyph of warding.
DM, is this portal vertical or is it taking up the entire space here?
It is like slightly slanted, but more vertical than what it appears.
Okay. So if I made it go across like that, would the portal be in the building?
Sure.
Or like maybe here?
Yeah, like right there. I'd say it'd be in the building.
Okay.
If you want to, like, make your square of where the building would be, like, by all means, we can have it. It'll be a very good guideline, and we can mark where the door is. Megan, you keep disappearing.
Oh.
No, I might need to change rooms.
Okay. So, to recap, the plan is make a big building, initiate the ceremony inside the building. We'll have glyphs of warding in a couple of these locations. And then our plan is to bring dragons down from the air when we see them to protect the roof, as well as cause the demons and dragons to fight if we are given the opportunity. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
So I'm gonna put. So who's casting the glyph of wardings?
That would be Mona after she finishes the temple.
Very good.
I feel she's going to be very busy.
Yes. From one place to another, from that place to the next. Very good.
I'm not doing what I want.
This will work out fine. If I had an inspiring leader, I'd use it.
Oh, that's how that works.
So you wanted 3 glyphs of warding? Greg?
Yes?
Yes.
I think 3 is probably best. That'll get these positions.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, you see that circle on the ground that I've just made?
Yep.
I made it so you can move these 3.
Ooh.
Oops,
Cool.
not that.
I believe Glyph of Warding's effect will spread to all the ends of those. I
Okay.
forget the range on Glyph of Warding. I think it's within 20 feet or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
These. Okay, so 20 feet around each of these, so I can actually just do that. Something like this. Yeah, so easily we'll cover all of that areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move them to the map layer then.
Okay.
Once a glyph of warding is like used, does it make it so that it goes away?
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once it's
Yes.
So then I'll just leave them on the token layer.
Yep.
Okay.
The damage type is chosen when they're set. It's not a ton of damage. It's 5d8 without upcasting, but
Yeah.
it is passive damage without concentration.
Alrighty.
Okay. Good. Very
Okay, is
good.
that your temple there?
Yes, it's kind of funky looking, but that's the temple.
Temple?
Alrighty.
Does it say how big the door is or the entrance?
I can make it look how I want it to look. So she's actually not going to make it big so that a dragon can't walk through. They'd have to go to human form to walk through it.
Because I do have a spell called Magic Circle. And if I can cover the front door with it, it's a 10-foot radius by 20 feet tall. And I can choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. And when they walk into it, a creature cannot willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleport or interplanar travel to do so, it must succeed a charisma saving throw. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. Targets within the cylinder cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed. When you cast this spell, you can elect to cause its magic to operate in reverse direction. Interesting. So that's possibly something that can help too.
Okay.
So where do we want the door placed? Those were strategizing.
I have a door
Far
button
away
that I
from the
can
portal.
put.
Probably. I think for the map to work well, we probably want it either there or like on this side, maybe.
I would probably say put it on the opposite end from the portal so that there's only one way to the portal, and that's through us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan.
Like there?
I'd put it further down, like
Like
almost to the corner.
like there?
Yeah.
Just,
I don't want them to be close to the jewel, you know?
just right there.
And then is Chiso putting down a magic circle?
Yeah, I think he's going to put down that magic circle. But as reading it, I think it only affects people within that circle. Give me a second so I can read through it a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Frick.
Let's see. This will go real well. Hey, all I'm saying is, I mean, Chad, if you have literally any ideas about how this is going to work,
We will take ideas at this point.
I'd be happy for ideas. We're about as set us up as I can think of, but
We focus mostly on the dragons and not the demons, though.
I think the temple is gonna do a whole ton for the demons.
Yeah, so for the demons, any demon that goes in is gonna, if they can get in, they have to make a check. And if they fail, they can't get in. If they make it in and succeed the check, then they have disadvantage on all their attack rolls while inside.
Okay. Question, can you dismiss the temple whenever you want?
No. It stays for 24 hours.
Just a duration.
Okay.
So it's not a concentration or anything. Like I put it in and now it's there.
Okay, I'm just trying to think because at the end of this, like all these creatures are going to be getting sucked through the portal, but if they can't get in because there's a wall of a temple in the way.
Whatever the effects of the tokens are, they kind of take precedence over any other spell.
Probably.
They
You
would
know
probably
what?
just
True.
grab the temple walls and suck them into.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that when it finishes, your temple is gonna go down.
Okay. That works
So
for me.
it's gonna get sucked
Also,
in.
while we're in there, people can't see us, like spy magically on us.
Okay.
Scry.
Scry, they can't scry.
Nice. Perfect.
I would like to cast Divine Intervention.
Okay.
Use my Divine Intervention.
Right.
Don't know if it works, very low chance. But after she makes the temple, she's just gonna do a little prayer. And pray for celestial help.
From
From her goddess. Like, send down a celestial being to help defend.
I gotta remember which one was your goddess.
It's Junipass.
Oh, Junipass. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my percentile dice. She does not receive help.
Oh.
Please
We're
hold
trying.
until after the beep.
It's a trial. It's a trial.
trial
that is being
phase,
placed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Junipass
want to do
reception
this one.
line. Let me put you on hold real quick.
End of the world? Oh, sorry. That
That's okay. We'll make a new one.
I'm gonna have to transfer
that-
you.
That doesn't fit into my schedule.
Yeah, sorry.
Gonna send it over to the way line.
And Way's like, excuse me?
Why am I here?
Just transfer the back.
Very good. Okay.
You guys feel like you've made a good plan?
Yes. Well, I feel like we've made a plan. I
Yeah,
will.
that
I
one.
will say that.
it might not be optimal, but I think we'll be fine.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay, I do want to open up. I'm trying to post it in the chat, the magic circle, but I can't figure out how to do it. I
Oh,
just have a few questions about it.
yeah, in the Roll20 chat.
Correct.
Let's
Did
see.
you
that
make
done?
it on your sheet?
Oh, I haven't put it on my sheet.
Oh,
No.
okay.
That's
that's
how
probably why
we
that-
make it just like jump into the chat. If you want
Yeah.
to just like copy and paste it.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste it from D&D Beyond where you're at and paste it in there.
Yep, take a look.
Yeah, for them,
We'll
they
see her.
inputted their spells onto their Roll20 sheet, and so it allows them to
Just
send them
love it.
in
It's
here.
pretty epic.
Gotcha.
How heavy are dragons?
That is a good. That's a good question.
They're heavy.
Probably ranging
Some.
from
It's just several.
1,000 pounds. Thousands
Yeah.
of pounds. my
I'd say they probably end up around 1,000 pounds, maybe close to a ton at their largest, because they can fly, but also they fly with like some magical help, so they're not like
Yeah.
they're not like birds. They're not super light. So yeah,
Not the only exception to they can fly is if they're if it's Thumberjawed,
yeah.
the big fat dragon.
He's easily
Right.
over a ton.
No, Thumberjawed shows up and he's like, "Nah, brah."
He wouldn't make it in time. We'd start the ritual, and he'd be like, oh, I gotta go."
He just
Tlachtga.
rolled. He just rolled.
Just-
Yeah, he rolls on
I
his
like that.
way
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
with the Winnie the Pooh.
Servants,
That's that kind of
prepare my ramp.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a
Worst.
funny dragon.
He hoards one of those walkways that move for him.
Oh, that.
Exactly. He's got like just a really, really, really big magic carpet.
Custom made.
Custom
He
made
does.
for him.
Can't carry him.
What his slaves have been working on the whole time.
Yeah.
Or servants, sorry. Ooh, servants, yeah.
Oh.
As though they're paid.
They're
It makes me
paid
feel
in what?
slightly better.
Like,
Yeah.
in lifespan.
Yeah, in not being executed.
They're
That's
just
David.
endangered servants versus slaves. It's the same thing, just a different smell.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good. This
Next
is it.
You feel good about the plan? Any last touch-ups? Any last things?
Let's see. I feel that the plan is in fact a plan. And that it's probably fine.
It is probably fine. So am I going to be outside then and turning into an air elemental eventually?
Yeah.
Or do we not need that?
Maybe.
When
think-
things hit the fan.
Play it by
Yeah.
ear.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Basically, do the most you can outside of a form like that, and then once you need it, you're gonna jump right. See, that's what I'm gonna do with my dragon form, because I can't control, like, I can't use my normal features out when I'm in a dragon form. So I'm going to use everything and then turn into a dragon.
Oh yeah, that's I expend my wild shapes. That's why I asked.
Yes. But I think so. We should be outside of the building until like people begin to press forward, and then we can take shelter inside the building and maybe have a few people outside or be close by to be able to assist them. So
Yeah.
if we begin to be overrun, that's when we go into the building, and then we're able to cover any holes made in the roofs, any entrances or whatever.
Right.
Kind of funnel them in.
Yeah,
Okay.
so to start, we'll be outside the building, and then we can
Yeah.
get inside.
Mona will
Speaking
start
of-
inside the building just to keep an eye on the portal in there.
That does make sense.
I mean, you all will need to technically start in there just to help start the ritual, but then you can move into location.
Yeah. By the time battle begins, we'll be able to move around.
Epic.
Speaking of that, DM question.
Yes.
If I were to use Moonbeam, because it is one of my prepared spells that I have,
Mm-hmm.
because it is, because it's a 40-foot high cylinder, would that have issue with the height? If I were to use it inside, do I need to use it outside?
Because it's a 40
Does
foot
that matter?
cylinder.
Yeah. 40-foot high cylinder.
I think it would just depend on the point at which you are casting it, and it'll be like the 40 foot from there, centered on
Okay.
the point. So it'd be 20 feet above the point, 20 feet below the point, if you're casting it like
Okay.
in the middle of the air, you know?
Yeah. I just was wondering, like, if I did it inside the temple,
Mm-hmm.
would that be an issue? Because I've played it both where if I don't have enough room, then it can't be cast. I've also played it where they just say, well, if it can go up to 40 feet. That doesn't mean it has to go up to 40 feet.
Yeah,
You
I
just
think.
stop at the ceiling.
Yeah, I think you could play it that way. Is that it doesn't have to go the full 40 feet if you don't want it to.
Okay.
I'll say you can have flexibility on that.
Sounds good. All right.
Chiso, as for your circle, what questions were you having on that?
Yeah, so I was able to copy paste it inside the chat. So the questions I have, it's more of technical questions
Yeah.
to kind of help me understand. I'm not one for spells, even though I love paladins. So, while the sphere is there, as I mentioned, it's a 10-foot radius by 20 feet high. And here it says the creature, so that's obviously fiends that I'm choosing to be in there. The creature has disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. So I'm guessing that we can go in and out of the cylinder, and if we're in the cylinder, those fiends that are trying to attack us if we're standing in that 10-foot radius, have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then targets within the cylinder cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed. When you cast this spell, you can elect to cause its magic to operate in reverse direction, preventing a creature of the specific type or specified type, being the fiends, from leaving the cylinder and protect targets outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean when they get inside of it that they try and cast a spell but they can't? That's kind of what I'm trying to understand.
So what it is that you can't, so you have to pick either one of the ways. So what you can do is, if, for example, I threw a circle on the map for you of its size, is if you put this around the doorway, you can say, I want it to keep demons out. And it will keep demons out unless they use some sort of interplanal travel. And at that point, they have to use a charisma save to see if they even get bypass it. And that would be the way that it works for how you've cast it.
Okay, so it's me just choosing one of the three.
Yeah. And
'Cause that's the way I would.
Yeah.
I would lean towards the reverse direction, preventing the creature of that specific.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I would lean towards. Is that one?
Is preventing them from entering or preventing them from exiting?
Probably entering.
Okay. So would you want it centered on the door then?
Yes.
Okay, so I've put a circle right there. We can keep that there. That will prevent the demons from entering.
This is just hyping me up more. We've got a plan. We put the plan in motion, and we're really just excited to do it. It's gonna be a fun time.
It's
Next time on the
gonna be-
scattering.
Next time on the scattering campaign.
Yeah. Any other things before we'll actually end a little early tonight?
Oh man, this
I
is
feel like I
exciting.
need to say a snarky comment to somebody. Hold on.
Gotta get the snarky comments out.
Get the
I don't know.
snarky comments.
I wrote a bunch of them down and I haven't used any of them.
Oh no!
Throw them around.
There will be plenty of time for insulting dragons and demons to their faces.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
I need
there
to
will.
throw some
An entire session.
Casey. Do it.
I'm still picking apart his painting over there.
Very good.
Okay.
That's how bad it is.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'm going to do a little bit of flavor text here before we leave, guys.
Yes, please.
Okay. So as you guys have finished finally setting up all of your preparations, you have the temple, the glyphs of warding, you have the magic circle. You've gotten everything set up, basically, that you can think of right now. And you've got, it's pretty good. Here, I gotta get some epic music here real quick. Sorry, this isn't epic. Here we go. As you guys are now finally finished with all of your preparation, it's time to begin the actual casting of the spell. As Torna gathers you all, you each are holding onto at least one, if not two, tokens, and you spread out around the circle, around this pool, the water kind of sloshing around your feet. As you all are holding on to these tokens, Torna begins to mutter some words, and you see magic energy kind of coming from his hands, and the token that he holds starts to be surrounded in this purplish light. essence of this purplish essence of magic. And you notice that as he lets go of the token, it actually remains in the spot that it's at. And as he casts this spell, you guys see the purple magic appearing on each one of your tokens. And they start to hover in the air around you. Some of them kind of slowly move, because some of you are holding 2. They kind of move so they can all be equidistant apart in this circle. And it seems like they are all slowly but surely kind of floating towards the center, where you see in the very center here, let me change the color. A little purple, like, ball of energy. And as it seems that they are all kind of floating towards this ball of energy, seemingly glowing brighter the closer they get. And as this happens, you notice that from the portal itself, a beam of light shoots out. And you guys can see on the map this beam of light of this purplish, bluish energy that shoots up into the sky, as far up as you can see past the clouds.
Can it go through the roof?
Yes. So it seems like it's not like breaking anything. It's like the essence of magic itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like it's damaging anything. It's like a signal beacon of like, world is ending. No. World is ending.
All of China knows we're here.
Exactly. All of China knows you're here. And it shoots up into the sky. You notice that the clouds around them start to glow with this purplish hue. And you just feel a thunder in the air, and the whispers of flames on the horizon. As you know, your enemies are coming. And with that, we will end tonight's session and begin next session on Friday for the final session of the Scattering for the final battle.
We're gonna get slapped around.
Nah, we'll be the ones doing the slapping.
The slapping will go both ways.
Yes, there will be mutual slappage. It'll be quite entertaining and epic sauce.
Yes, it's gonna be super fun.
It's gonna be awesome.
Well, thank you to our audience for so much for joining tonight and watching all of the planning take place. Now, the question here is, will it all go according to plan?
This is D&D. It never does.
Exactly.
It's fine. As long as blood dice are on the table, there's always a chance, you know?
Exactly. Not bad. But with this, we are so grateful for Decky. I did it again. For David and Becky. For joining us from at Tomes of the Chaos Bard podcast. Please check out their podcast. They are so fun and entertaining. They are family friendly. They are a family friendly podcast group as well. So please go check out their podcast and join us again this next Friday for the epic conclusion and the final battle of the 3-part Scattering event. And we'll finally see what happens and how the Scattering finally goes down. So hit that like button on this video if you liked it. Comment below. Yeah. And if you want to be notified of when we're starting the stream at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time on Friday, May 31st. But if you want to be notified by your phone, click that bell icon for Rosemary PG Studios and subscribe. So we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining. And